We are live and I will bring everybody in. Thank you.
Okay, I'm back, I guess.
Would you? There we go.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, and Inuit Cree and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 41st Nation in Treaty 3 territory. I'd like to introduce the members of the panel, the secretary to the board, and the assessor. First of all, we have Judy Redmond. Thank you, Judy. Valerie Burhan. And my name is Gisela Rempel. I will be chairing today. The assessment department personnel are Amanda Kilborn. And our administrative personnel today is Francis Villanueva. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note, you are placed in the waiting room until your property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. Kindly follow along on the City of Winnipeg's Board of Revision YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing has concluded, you can leave the meeting. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by council and is independent of it and the city administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with this board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony, followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all of the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing items 1 and 2, 4 and 5, 9 to 12 on our docket today. Mr. Villanueva, please affirm the assessors and the applicant's testimony.
Perfect. It's nice to put everybody else in a group other than our first seats.
Yes.
Yes.
So for the first item today, it is 51 Day and Trepids Promenade. And I think it's Veriscan Yilmaz.
There's no person for that. There's no person in.
Oh, there is no one in attendance for that particular, or on Zoom for that particular address?
Yes.
So then we will proceed with having the assessor sworn in.
Yes. Okay. Ms. Assessor, please state your full name.
Amanda Kilborn.
Thank you. And do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. And we're on.
Thanks.
We're on item one, right?
There's, oh yes, but then. yeah,
Item one,
No options.
51 Day Intrepid Promenade, and if you can go ahead then. This is
Okay, so just read my,
Oh, sorry, give me 1 second.
Sorry, I must state that the reason for the application is the amount of assessed value.
There we go. Okay, yes, good, I guess I.
okay, so go ahead with 51 Days in Trapeze.
Yes, please.
Okay. So the property is located in the North St. Boniface neighborhood. It's a 2 one-story built in 1996. It's 1,850 square feet with an unfinished basement. It has 3 bathrooms, air conditioning, attached garage, and a sunroom. The lot size is 7,458 square feet, and there's a hydro box and rail line influence. The comparable properties are 7 Days in Trapeze Promenade, 737 Saint Jean Baptiste Street, 440 Jeanne d'Arc Street, and 166 Mason Street. They're all 2 stories with effective ages between 1978 and 1990. The square footages range from 1,344 to 1,924 square feet. They all have finished basements and 3 bathrooms, except for 166 Mason has 4. They have air conditioning and garages. The lot sizes range from 3,039 to 5,576 square feet. And there's a corner and school influence for 737 Saint Jean Baptiste and a school influence for 166 Mason. The time adjusted sale price for these comparable properties range from 533,300 to 630,700. And the subject property was also purchased in the reference period in August of 2024 for 595,000 with a time adjusted price of 622,400. Based on the subject sale and these comparable properties, I believe the value of 607,000 should be maintained.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Redmond, do you have any questions for the assessor? Oh, no, there is no applicant though. Ms. Redmond, do you have any questions for the assessor? I'm a little rusty. It's my first chair since last year.
I would like to check the subject's roll number, please.
Oh, sorry. Yes. 0606141390.
Thanks. Question, finished basement. Would that contribute quite significantly? It seems to be the subject property is the only property that
Yeah,
does have a
does
finished
not
basement.
have.
Sorry, go ahead.
There would be value added for finishing a basement, yes. I don't have an exact dollar value, but yeah, for a 2-story, there would be value added. It would be probably like roughly 50 to 70% of like the main floor area. So not the total square footage, but what the main floor would be. So, I mean, a range could probably be 20 to 30, maybe 20 to $35,000 ish if I had to just guess.
Okay, and sunroom, the same question.
Yes, there is value added for a sunroom, yes. Not as much as what full heated living space would be, but yes.
The final question I have is around the lot size is quite significant.
Mhm.
And it is on a rail line. So does that have an impact on the assessed value?
Yeah, so lot size, it is the largest lot, so that would increase the value based on the comparables. There is a negative influence for rail line, so it is a negative attribute. It wouldn't be huge, but there is definitely a negative influence for having a rail line behind you. Yes.
Okay, thanks. That's all I have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very much. Ms. Verhan, any questions for the assessor?
No, mine were just asked and answered. Thank you.
And I have no further questions for the assessor. So we can proceed to the next property, which would be number 267 Fifth Avenue. And I believe we have 2 people that are attending. Mr. Worku and a Mr. Duick.
Yes, let me make it right now.
Hello, gentlemen. And is the assessor, oh, there she is. I will ask the assessor to proceed with her assessment, please.
Okay, so for 67 Fifth
I'm
Avenue?
sorry, they have to be sworn in.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Workle, please state your full name.
Yeah, my name is Zacharias Worko.
Thank you. And do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. And Mr. Dewitt, please state your full name.
John Stanley Dewitt.
Thank you. And do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, Ms. Kilborn, you can proceed, please.
Okay, so this is for 67 Fifth Avenue, roll number 080000036500. The property is located in the Glenwood neighborhood. It's a 2.5-story single-family dwelling with an effective age of 1980. It is 2,295 square feet with an unfinished basement. It has 4 bathrooms, air conditioning, and fireplace. The lot size is 6,112 square feet, and there's a back lane influence. The comparable properties are 16 Clonard Avenue, 57 Egerton Road, 157 Genthon Street, and 144 Horace Street. They are all 2 or 2.5-story single-family dwellings with effective ages between 1950 and 1986. The square footages range from 1,732 square feet to 2,526 square feet. And they all have unfinished basements, except for 157 Genthon has a partially finished basement. The comparables all have 2 bathrooms, air conditioning, and a detached garage. And 57 Egerton has an attached garage. The lot sizes range from 2,943 to 7,129 square feet. There's a river influence for 57 Egerton Road, a backlane influence for 157 Genthon Street, and a commercial influence for 144 Horace. The time adjusted sale price for these comparable properties range from 567,000 to 727,000. The subject property was purchased privately in September 2024, and then it was renovated and changed from a rooming house to a single-family dwelling. And we do have on file that there was an inspection done on this property. I did not do the inspection, but the notes state that there was a full gut on the 2nd and 3rd floor. The basement is unfinished. The main floor renos, the kitchen and living room, and then there was structural alterations as load-bearing walls were removed on the main floor, and the bathroom was also renovated. There was also determined that there is a garage on the property, but it's in tear-down shape, so no value added to the property, and we don't have it on our records as a garage anymore. So when I looked for sales, I looked for old builds with upgrades, such as the subject property. And so the comparables I used were all houses that are old year built, but with age variance for renovations done to the property. There is a river influence for the Egerton property, so I mean that lot location is superior, but the value on the sale shows that. So I believe that the comparables I used are as comparable to finding a house that has been dated but with upgrades. So based on these comparables, I feel that the 592 should be maintained.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Burhan, do you have any questions of the assessor? Oh, no, the applicants get to question first, pardon me. Do the applicants have any questions for the assessor?
Yes, I have one. Are you aware that that there may be some dispute about the square footage of Genthon Street, which is one of your comparables? The real estate.
No, I'm not
Sorry?
aware of any dispute in square footage.
Yeah, the real estate listing on that shows 2,136 square feet.
Okay.
So it could be that the real estate listing is wrong. It could be the assessed date of
Real
assessing.
estate, I mean, we don't go by what real estate listings state. They can put whatever square footage they decide, or they could have, or it could be possible that there's something that is accounted for. I don't know. I just have what our records show and what the square footage from the plans that we have for the property. So real like listings don't have to be the same as what our records
Oh.
show. We go by whatever the plans or the original field forms from when the building was built.
Sure, both have the potential to be in error, absolutely. But the real estate agent has some risk, legal risk, if they list it incorrectly. So, yeah, you have to just based on which one you'd have to trust
We
more,
go
I
by the
guess, to be accurate.
plans and the original field forms. So we go by ours. We don't have to. The agents
Mhm.
can they can do
Mhm.
they can figure out a square footage that's not based on the plans or the field forms. That's all I can say about that. I don't know what the square footage on the listing says at this time.
And one other question is, when the city lists the comparables, like if you log into your assessed property on the city's website and it shows my comparables to, how come those comparables are then different from the ones you present?
There's many comparables. The city just picks four for every, like it's just four comparables that are picked to kind of just give an idea of sales. But when we do more researching, we can choose other comparables that would be more reasonable or comparable. We also list on our website all the sales that are used in the model for each reference period. So the four that are on the website are four that are picked. And then there's also the list of all the sales data that has been used in this specific reference period for all the sales, for all the properties.
That's all for me, thanks.
Thank you.
Ms. Verhun, do you have any questions of the assessor?
Not at this moment, thank you.
Ms. Redmond, any questions for the assessor?
I just would like to know, from your experience, which of the comps would you say is the closest to this?
So for this property, I would pick the first comparable. It's in the same neighborhood and close-ish relatively close in size, still a little bit smaller. But I would say comparable 1, and then probably comparable 3. I would say comparable 2 is holds the least weight. It is more dated actually than the subject property, but the location would be superior. So I kind of feel that the being on the river definitely adds value to that property. But based on upgrades, I would say comparables 1, 3, and 4 are all reasonable to the subject property. 3 and 4 are a little bit smaller. So they're all smaller, but 3 and 4 are the smallest, I would say. So comparables 1 is the most, and then 3 and 4.
Okay, and the back lane influence, is that something that's significant? Is
No,
it a negative?
it's not really it's not a positive. It's an influence that doesn't really, it might have a very, very minor effect on value, but nothing significant.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you.
I'm just wanting to confirm that the garage, which you indicated was a tear down, is not included in your assessment at all.
It is not.
You have removed that.
It's on our records as an outbuilding, and it doesn't add any value to the property.
Is there any consideration given for the cost of tearing the garage down?
No, that is it's just not there.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's all my questions.
Thank you.
So I will now turn it over to the applicants to make your presentation, please.
And can I just clarify, can I share our document that we submitted?
We
that-
all got the document that you submitted.
Sorry, oh, you all have it? So I just I just sort of how to follow along or?
You can just maybe give us the highlights of the document. that-
Okay,
that you
so
feel are
yeah, I
relevant.
mean, the background, I don't think that's necessarily in dispute, except maybe just to add to it that, right after the purchase, there was actually more than one assessor visit to the property. In June 2024, an assessor came out and assessed the property at 213,000. And then an assessor came back for a reassessment this last, in March, I believe. And that reassessment then, was disputed. And I'm not here to re-adjudicate that dispute, but I think we were a little disappointed that we weren't allowed to present any visuals in response to the new comparables that the city had presented. So, yeah, I think if you would page through the document, you can see the state of the subject property. Can I just clarify? We affirm to tell the truth. I take that very seriously. So my understanding, I just want to clarify with, I'm just speaking on behalf of the applicant. The applicant is Mr. Worku, who's attending the meeting. And can I just clarify with Mr. Worku if there is central air conditioning in his house? Because my understanding was that there was not, and my document reflects that there was not. And the assessor has presented that there is. So I honestly just don't know. I don't want to present something that is incorrect when we've all affirmed to tell the truth. So, Mr. Worku, can you just clarify, does your property have central air conditioning?
Yes.
Okay, so somehow there was a miscommunication between him and I earlier on, so I apologize. And can I just strike any reference to the no air conditioning in our presentation and as factually incorrect? And I certainly apologize for that.
No problem. We'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think you can scroll through the presentation we've made. It's interesting that sorry, I'm trying to scroll through quickly here. On Avondale, that's a very I'm using examples that were from the city's Winnipeg website, as I've inferred in my previous question to the assessor. And that one has a very is influenced, I would think, by the close proximity to the golf course and the winter ski trails that are there. You can see that it is nicely landscaped. It's got a developed back deck and living area, and a usable garage that adds value. And we'll say for the sake of argument that the interiors are equivalent. But that it does have a finished basement that clearly adds value. It's interesting. One of the assessor's submission comparables was Clonard, 16 Clonard, and so we have used that example in our presentation because that was the one that was one of the ones presented on the city's website as a comparable. So if you scroll through there, you can again see a developed backyard. It has a very nice screened in porch there, or sunroom, I guess you would call that. And the garage is quite interesting because it's a heated garage with developed office space, and I'm guessing that usable office is not included in the average square footage. So I'm just scrolling through here again, finished basement, certainly usable space down in the basement on that property as well. In Harrowby, it was built in 2007, so it's obviously a much newer house. And I'm just looking at the curb appeal on Harrowby. It's got a finished front porch, finished basement. It's got a double garage with a playroom in upstairs of the garage. And a really nice semi-private deck there enclosed, in the back. Again, we'll call it equivalent interiors. I'm just scrolling through here I'm on page about 25 of our presentation. So we get to Pilgrim, again, a newer property, an infill property, which tend to add value. I don't have very good pictures of the garage, but clearly a usable garage and a deck. I'm just scrolling through here. The basement, I have no pictures off the Realtor listing page, but it does indicate clearly that the basement has a rec room, pot lights, new carpet, spacious office room, and another full bathroom in the basement. So your previous appeal hearing, there was reference or a question about what value basements add to the livable square footage. And, that I fully, kind of agree that it wouldn't have exactly the same value as a main floor square footage. But I think even the assessor agrees that it certainly adds value. What we tried to do here in this table, and I'm looking on page 29, I think, of our presentation, I'm hoping everyone can kind of follow along, is we said, well, if you take the basement as a 50% value or 50% square footage, you see what the resulting decrease in value per square foot would be. If you take it at 100%, you can see what the value of the square foot would be. And so what that table is sort of showing is that based on the stated square footages of the properties, not including the basements or the heated office space in the garage or the sunrooms, the subject property is actually valued at 23% less per square foot. So one might argue, that it based on that it's a fair representation. But once you factor in that basement, you can see that it's either 4% less if you take the kind of the view that the basement only adds about 50% of the value to its square footage, and it's actually 60% higher if you assume that the basement has full value. So I think what we're submitting is once the basement is factored in, the square footage values are very equivalent in terms of what the city has presented, at least based on these comparables that the city used. But what we haven't factored in yet is all the other elements. And so once you figure and factor in the age of construction, that all the comparables have newer construction compared to that 100-year-old Fifth Avenue property, we can eliminate my point about the air conditioning. So again, apologize for the inaccuracy there. The location, one of the properties has immediate proximity to a golf course, which adds value. All of them have garages. I apologize for the capital A on a garage in my presentation. It's just meant to be a garage. So each of the comparables has a garage. One is effectively a double garage with a play area, and another is fully heated, has an office space. In comparison, 67th Fifth Avenue has a garage that represents a liability and a safety hazard, and what was implied also a liability in terms of cost to remove it. If you compare outdoor living space, all the comparable properties have developed front yards, backyards, decks and sunrooms, decks and or sunrooms, and they all clearly have significantly better curb appeal. So I think we would say if we're starting with the premise that the basements have already brought the property values to roughly equivalent, what we haven't factored in is all these additional factors that significantly increase the value of the comparable properties. And again, we use comparables that the city had presented on the website. So I haven't. One of them actually is the same. Clenard is one that's the same. And I do have some photos on Gentham as well, which is number 3 comparable that the city presented. But I guess I wouldn't be allowed to share those visuals.
Well, I think that you've got plenty of visuals here in terms of the comparisons. So maybe could we proceed with questions by the assessor, please? If you have concluded your presentation.
Yeah, well, except that it's proposed that the assessed value be lowered by 200,000 to 392. Is the conclusion.
Thank you very much. Ms. Kilborn, any questions for the applicant?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I did take a look at the comparables that that he provided and that were our sales comparables online. I didn't use any of those ones except for the Clonard one because they're significantly smaller than the subject property. So, I mean, I understand him stating that, or I understand you stating that basement finish and garages add value, but square footage, living space adds value too. And these comparables are all like 1,100 to 1,400-ish, like some are over 1,000 square feet smaller than the subject property. I think that would probably come into play with value too. So, I mean, saying that it should be lowered lower than their values when they're 1,000 square foot lower, do you agree that yours is at like almost 2,300 square feet, like 2,295? That definitely increases value. Along with theirs also, along with other things like the basement finish and so even though you don't have a finished basement or we don't have your garage included, the square footage is significantly larger than those comparables. That would need to come into play with value as well. Would you agree to that?
Yes and no. I think we happen just coincidentally, my wife and I are actually looking for a property with my son, different area of town, but the realtors tell us that the value per square foot of the smaller, 1-story, 1,000 square foot properties per square foot, I'm talking about, not the total price, but the per square foot value has a premium and it goes down a little bit as you go up to
Yeah, I
two
agree
and a
with
half
that.
story
I'm
houses.
talking about the total value and like comparing you to another 2-story or 2.5-story, not 1 stories.
So
I just feel that
yeah,
the fact that your property is 2,295 square feet, that is why I chose different properties. I've tried to find larger properties that were more comparable in size. These comparables, except for the one on Clonard, 16 Clonard, are 1,000 or more square feet smaller. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, no, and I'm just sort of
comparables
suggesting that I was adjusting per square foot. Like once I put the basements in, right, even at 50%, we said that brings it down to your square footage equivalent, right? Even the smaller properties, the square footage value is smaller. And one could also argue that the third floor of the subject property has limited, in the same way that a basement doesn't have the same value as the main floor. The third floor doesn't have the same value as the third floor either, right?
So I'm looking at the price per square foot for the comparables you provided, and they're all in the mid to high $300, and you're at 257. So even if you look at the price per square foot and what you're saying, yours is lower than theirs price per square foot. The most comparable one is the 16 Clonard, because it is closer in size to the subject, to your property. I just wanted to point out that the comparables used are significantly smaller. There are a couple that are newer, which also comes into play. That's why I spent most of my time trying to find older builds with renovations, and trying to be as close in square footage because it's harder to find the size of your property. But the comparables that were used are roughly 1,000 or 800 to over 1,000 square foot smaller than your property. I just wanted to point that out and that's why I didn't use any of those ones except for the one on Clonard.
But to the same point, because it's a question, I assume I can respond to that. To the same point, once you factor in the basements of the properties you used, right? That would also lower the square footage, the average value per square foot.
Yeah,
And
and
so
your
in the
value
chart,
per square foot is significantly lower than these ones. You're at 257.95, and these are at between 330 and 391. So considering that, then that is still significantly lower. The comparables I used were more in line with the age, with renovations, and with the size of your property.
yeah, and I guess I can only just express, some
We can,
degree
I
of,
guess, agree to disagree.
yeah, okay, and also that we're trying to use the comparables that you submitted, that the city submitted, sorry.
Well,
So,
I submitted these comparables that I'm providing. Those are the ones that we submitted.
Right.
Those are, there's sales, we provide all the sales online on our website. And these were all online on our website.
Sure, and we thought it was best to use the ones that you listed specifically on, as it relates to my
I
comparable.
understand,
So, yeah, okay, so
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have any further questions? Ms. Kilborn?
I do not.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Redmond, do you have any questions of the applicant?
No, I think the assessor asked all that I was going to ask.
Ms. Verhun, do you have any questions?
Just a couple. I'm just looking at the applicant's page 6 of the basement. Is that a retaining wall? Or is that just the way it looks in the picture? Because it's stating that it was a full basement, so I'm just looking at where all the stuff is on top of that. Is that a retaining wall, sir?
That's-
I'm gonna let Mr. Worku respond to that if that's okay.
Yeah, that's the basement is look like, yeah.
So that, sir, is a retaining wall.
And sorry, what do you mean by retaining wall? Maybe
Well,
you could just-
is there dirt on top of that? Because the way it looks from what I'm seeing, you have some supplies or whatever on top of if it's not a if it is a full basement, it would be wall to wall. There would be nothing, there would be no dirt in between. So is that a half wall, a retaining wall? I'm just wondering what type of.
So, Zacharias, Mr. Worku, if you look at that picture on page 6 of our presentation,
Yeah.
and you see the second picture of the basement, the one to the right,
Yeah.
you can see. I think what the
Okay,
questioner
okay.
is asking is that there's sort of a second concrete wall that is
Yeah.
is adding structural value to the main foundation wall.
Yes, so the double foundation because of structure. Don't forget, this is 100 years old house, so that is the basement is like a 2 wall.
Well, that makes it smaller then, right? Because
Yes.
that was
Oh, yeah.
built after. Now, on top, underneath all that, those, I'll say supplies, is dirt? Is it dirt, sir, or concrete?
Do you have a
and,
footing? Is there a footing underneath the wall, Zacharias, or is
No,
it?
it is sitting on the floor, the second wall of the foundation. If I correctly understand her, the second wall of the foundation is sitting on the basement floor.
And the basement floor is concrete. It's not dirt,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
Yeah, it's
It's
concrete.
concrete. Yes. Yeah.
So then it would be, instead of having from wall to wall where you could build something, this would be a smaller space then.
That's
Correct.
correct.
Okay, and thank you, sir, for that. And I'm sorry if I missed it. What would the cost of the renos be from putting it from the rooming house to a single family home? Would you have an estimated cost or?
Yeah. Are you asking me or?
Yes, sir. Whomever is, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm in construction, so that's what I do for living. So the cost of this renovation, maybe not including my labor and my time, it's around $70,000.
Okay. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, sir. Those are all my questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And I am wondering, when your photos were taken that you have.
Oh, I've indicated that on the paper, this, I was using sort of the presentation we used at the previous appeal, that we weren't allowed to present, but they were all taken, Zacharias can correct me because they came from him, but they were all taken this last spring at the time when the assessor was out, the same time that the assessor.
That's correct, yes.
came.
And has any further work been done since these pictures were taken?
No,
Well, I think the one picture shows a wooden railing inside. I think you've
Yes.
replaced that by now, right?
yeah, the railing is added yet, yes.
But not to the like you haven't removed the garage yet,
No,
or,
everything is as is.
or the basement hasn't been redone or anything
No.
like that. No.
No.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I think that's all my questions. Would the assessor like to summarize?
Just in summary, I believe I chose the comparables best suited based on the original built plus renovations and closer in size to the subject property. And that the 592 should be maintained.
Thank you.
Thank
And would
you.
the applicant like to summarize?
Zacharias, you want to say anything, or do you want me to have a word?
No, I think we cover pretty much.
Yeah, I think it's just we've tried to adjust down and for the average square footage based on the basements, and then there would just be all the other factors, the curb appeal, the developed backyards, the livable space, the garages, and again, two of those garages are exceptional in terms of heated and office space in the garage. We've got a sunroom in one location. We've got a double garage in another situation. So I think all of those add significant value in our comparables that we used. So even after one adjusts downwards for the square footage due to basement, the value per square footage. So.
Thank you. And can I, just one other question before we conclude this matter. The pictures you have of the properties that you are using as comparisons, where did those come from?
They all come from the, we were able to ask a realtor contact we have, and they have those pictures from the actual sale of, you know what I mean? So obviously these are based on the prices that the city is using is based on sales value, right? And so these are the pictures that were used at the time of those sales on the realtor listings.
Okay, thank you very much. That will conclude number 2, 67 Fifth Avenue. Thank you for your presentations.
Thank you.
We'll now move on to number 4, 23 Worthington Avenue, please.
Oh, sorry. Is there no one here?
Somebody's there.
Oh, sorry. And I'm just waiting for them to be sworn in. Sorry.
Yeah. Is
Okay.
it Mr. Shimol? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Sorry.
Can you hear us, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Spelling
Okay.
is good.
Is your name Mr. Shimol? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, this is my last name.
Okay. I'm going to get the administrative assistant to swear you in, please.
Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Pardon, sir?
Please state your full name.
Mahfouz Shamal.
Thank you. And do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I'm difficulties to hearing you. Can you repeat it again, please?
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah, everything is truth.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Kilborn, please proceed with your assessment.
Okay. So this is for 23 Worthington Avenue, roll number 0800320840. The property is located in the Worthington neighborhood. It's a one-story single-family dwelling with an effective age of 1986. It is 1,088 square feet with a finished basement. Excuse me. It has 2 bathrooms, air conditioning, and a detached garage. The lot size is 4,897 square feet. The comparable properties are 398 St. George Road, 403 St. George Road, 211 Belleville Road, and 131 Sadler Avenue. They are all one-story single-family dwellings with effective ages between 1970 and 1984. The square footages range from 988 to 1,190 square feet. They all have finished basements, 2 bathrooms, except for 398 St. George has 3 bathrooms. They all have air conditioning, except for 131 Sadler does not. And then 403 St. George has a garage, and the rest do not. The lot sizes range from 5,908 to 10,027 square feet. And there's a hydro box influence for 398 St. George, a rec building influence for 403 St. George Road, and a bus corner commercial and traffic influence for 211 Belleville Road. Excuse me, the time adjusted sale price for these comparable properties range from 386,300 to 481,300. And the comparable properties all have some type of upgrades, same as the subject property. The subject property was purchased in May of 2024 for 422,000. The time adjusted price per square foot, or sorry, the time adjusted price of that is 449,900. And based on the subject sale as well as the comparable properties, I believe the 422 value should be maintained.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Scheinwald, do you have any questions of the assessor?
Yeah, like at first I am a first-time homebuyer. I don't know the process accurately. Whatever I told my lawyer or my realtor when I bought my house, like me and my wife, and that I think something changed like from last 2 years experience, and I got the letter like assessment thing after we bought the house 2024. The SS bill was 339,000. On 2025, I got another letter from city, 348,000. 2026, another letter from the city, 348,000. But when we got the letter 2027 year, is increased around my calculation 21%. It's now SS value is 422. I have no idea like what basis city calculate these things, if it's possible. And I got the email when we booked the Zoom meeting.
Mr. Scheimel.
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Sorry to interrupt you. Do you have a question? We're going to give you an opportunity to make your presentation in a
No,
minute.
okay. Like my question is like what basis or after how interval city like reevaluate the assessment thing, or
We
is
do.
for
A reassessment is done every 2 years. So then this reassessment is for 2027. So it's a new reassessment year for 2027 and 2028. Every 2 years, there's a reassessment done. And we look at sales within a reference period. So for this reassessment of 2027, we're looking at sales that took place of similar properties to yours between April of 2023, April 2025. So these are the sales that I've provided, along with you did purchase your property in our reference period for this reassessment. So based on your sale, along with these sales that I've provided, that's how we come up with the value that we come up with for the new reassessment.
okay, like is the assessment thing sorry for that.
Okay.
Is the assessment thing is like anything upgraded on my house or property lot, or how is calculate?
Yeah, so your property does show that there are upgrades, and based on the sale shows that there has been some renovations prior to your purchase of the property. So based on looking at the listing of your property and the sale and the pictures, it showed that there has been some work done. So I mean, like the kitchen updated flooring. There's been lighting, roof, furnace, windows. That's all stuff that would have been done to your property based on the listing of the sale. So prior to you purchasing it. And I don't know if you've done anything since then at this point. I mean, but that's based on what the sale of your property states.
Is that all your questions for the assessors?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Redmond, any questions for the assessor?
Sorry, I couldn't get my mute back.
Oh.
Just a couple of questions. The effective year built on comp 3 and 4 is quite a bit lower than the subject property. Is that something that would add value, take away value?
Well, they're also an older build. So I mean, the amount of renovations on the properties, I would say comparables 1 and 2 would be the most comparable. Comparables 3 and 4 are a little bit older builds. They do have renovations, maybe a little bit older upgrades, like not as recent of a renovation. But yeah, the comparables 3 and 4 would be a little bit less updated in my opinion than comparables 1 and 2. Like not as recently updated is what I guess I mean to say.
Okay, and did you or any of the other assessors go and visit the property?
The subject property, no.
Yes.
I did not, and I don't believe anyone else did.
Okay, thanks. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Verhan, any questions for the assessor?
Mine were just asked and answered. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, sorry, there was an ambulance going by. Did you say your questions have been asked and answered, Ms. Verhan?
Yes, they were. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Scheimel, would you like to make your presentation now?
Yeah, sure. Sir, I don't know how to present this one. As I said, this is my first time I'm doing this in my life, but I can try. My understanding is if I do any renovation in my property, then maybe my assessed value increase. But after bought my house, we didn't do anything. Whatever we bought and still the same. And just the Madam Assessor said my height like furnish and shingles like the roof is new. I don't believe it's new. It's pretty old, around 8 or 10 years. By the sticker on the hatchback and everything, and the window is not like very new. It's like at least 7 or 8 years. And what other thing? The air condition is very much old, at least more than 10 years. And what other thing? And when I wrote my email to the for the reassessment thing, I can start from the beginning. When I got the letter, like on the month of January 2026, and there's on the last line, I can book an appointment to talk with the assessor to discuss how these things like calculate. I call 311, but they said it's too much high volume. I can't talk with any assessor right now. I have to wait June or July. On that time, I need to call again and book an like reassessment thing, like this meeting. And I waited like 6 months. After that, I sent an email and they booked the appointment for thing. That's why I was little bit uncertainty, like how these things happen. And I don't know, or maybe I don't have the tools to check the, like I got the thing like comp 1, 2, 3, 4, these things, how the assessor calculate the assessment value. But I can see the city website map, like property assessment map on my street, like Ordington Avenue Street only. I thought everything will be calculated on my street base, but in here is like full area, like all the neighborhoods, like how the property sale recently, just Madam Assessor said. and I have no idea how to check what properties sell, like how what amount. But I can see beside my houses, all the houses property assessment thing did not change, and their houses build and lot size is much bigger than me, but the SS value is much lower than me. So I thought this will be justified to me if beside my houses the SS value and my house SS value if similar.
Okay, you know, we cannot compare assessments. We indicated at the beginning of the hearing that what we compare are the sales, as the assessor indicated. So we cannot consider the assessments that you have presented as evidence in this particular case, because they could be wrong. But if that is the end of your presentation, I can turn it over to the assessor if she has any questions for you and the other board members as well. Is there something that you would want to add?
Like I can add one thing, like I didn't do any renovation, anything add on my property. That's my one like last conclusion.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Ms. Kilborn, do you have any questions for the applicant?
No, I was gonna ask about whether he's done anything since possession, so he answered that for me. Thank you.
Ms. Verhun, do you have any questions?
I'm just wondering, Mr. Applicant, what you feel your house should be assessed at?
Sorry, madam.
What do you think it should be assessed at? What number do you think?
Ma'am, anything 360 to 370.
Okay, even though you paid $422,000 for your home, you feel that it should be assessed lower on, like, on what basis would you say it should be much lower?
As I mentioned earlier, ma'am, when I start my thing, this is our first home, and I think we paid much over for this house. If I want to buy a house right now for this house, I will not pay more than 360, or I will wait for another suitable house or something. But my left side house, they bought the house, uh, like whatever my house, like the left one, the new owner, they bought the house 350 or 360 something, quite similar to my lot, and everything was same except the size. But my other colleagues and everyone who is buying their house, everyone came and everyone is agree with me. I paid more than 50,000 for this house. So for my like understanding, I paid much more than these things, because I think I don't want to use the word, but thing is that the realtor, like who is showing this house and who is selling this house, the realtor thing is something marketing thing, and they give us a height. This house is like 5,000 houses, you are getting very good deal or something. But I think we get a very bad deal to buy the house. So to me, my house, market wise or my calculation wise, 360, maybe 370 at best. That's
Okay,
why that's why I say this amount, ma'am.
okay, thank you very much. That's all, Madam Chair. Thank you.
And my questions have been asked and answered. So I will ask Ms. Kilborn, do you have any summary?
In summary, I just.
I'm sorry, Ms. Redmond, did you have questions?
No, my question has been answered. Thank you.
Thank you, I'm sorry, I apologize. Ms. Kilborn, back to you.
Sorry. Yeah, in summary, I just feel that the subject sale as well as the comparable sales support the value of 422 and should be maintained.
And Mr. Applicant, do you have a summary you would like to make?
Yeah, that's the ma'am I just described earlier. Like I was told and I understand like thing. Sorry. Like my houses, they said whatever the property tax, the assess value, these things always will be remain the same, like 350 or below 350, and it will be not change until I like upgrade anything in my house. But I was told wrongly, and when I bought the house, I paid much more than this. And as told you, I didn't do anything added on my house. So I am humbly requesting to the board or something, please reassess my thing and decrease the assessment value, because I don't know how to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
presentation and your time today. That will conclude the matter of 23 Worthington Avenue, and we will get back to you by mail as soon as a decision is made. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we go on to item 5 on the agenda, 147 Belleville Road. And I have a numbered company as the owner.
Yeah, I do have an application.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and I will open it.
I have a numbered company as the. Is it Mr. Pham?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. I will get the administrative assistant to swear you in, please.
Yes.
Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
My name is Hao Pham.
Thank you. And do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Kilborn, your presentation, please.
Okay, so this is for 147 Belleville Road, roll number 080041300900. The property is located in the Worthington neighborhood. It's a bi-level, single-family dwelling built in 2004. It's 963 square feet with a finished basement. It has 2 bathrooms, air conditioning, and an attached garage. The lot size is 6,870 square feet, and there's a bus, commercial, and traffic influence. The comparable properties are, 48 Hindley Avenue, 67 Marlborough Avenue East, 70 Marlborough Avenue East, and 6 Boxwood Cove. They are all bi-levels built, single-family dwellings built between 1983 and 2000. The square footages range from 864 square feet to 1,058 square feet. They all have finished basements, 2 bathrooms, and air conditioning. Their 70 Marlborough has a detached garage, and the rest do not have garages. The lot sizes range from 3,017 to 4,998 square feet. There's a corner influence for 70 Marlborough Avenue East, and the time adjusted sale price for these comparables range from 372 to 446,900. The subject is at 426,000, and I believe the value should be maintained.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But,
Could you please repeat the roll number?
Sorry, I apologize. 080041300900.
Thank you. Mr. Pham, do you have any questions of the assessor?
Yeah, first, I would like to start with the building description, because in here, in my in the building in the house, you said there's a fireplace in my house, but there's no fireplace in my house.
Okay. There's no electric fireplace in your house?
No, there is none.
Okay. I have on our records. Okay, so you say no fireplace. Okay.
No fireplace.
Sure. Okay.
And I got your comparable sales report, and looks like the one that you sent it to me, it's a little bit higher than what I have submitted to you with a different different house that I found it on the City Winnipeg website. For example, the 279 Bellevue. It's a bi-level. It's 1,700. It's 1,070 square feet, and it's only assessed for 371.
Sorry, which comparable are you talking about? What one of my comparables?
The one that I submitted to the one that I submitted to Francis that I found on the city website. The address is 279 Bellevue.
Okay, so you're talking about your comparable.
Yeah, my comparable. It's on the same stretch, but the value is less than what you assess my property.
Oh, no, oops. Sorry. This one gets down.
If you're talking about any of my sales right now, I feel that you're talking about what you've submitted as your evidence.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not sure if that's what we're supposed to be talking about at this.
No, I think if you've got any questions about the presentation of the sales that have been presented by the assessor, this is the time to do that. We're gonna give you an opportunity to make your presentation of the information you have submitted. But do you have any questions in terms of what Ms. Kilborn has submitted?
No, I don't have any question.
Okay. Ms. Redmond, do you have any questions of the assessor?
No, I don't have any at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Verhun, do you have any questions?
I don't, Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank you. And I don't have any questions either. So we'll turn it over to you, Mr. Pham, to make your presentation, please.
Oh, me?
Yes, the information that you submitted, this is your opportunity to present it. But I should just say, before you present it, that we cannot compare assessments. What we are comparing here are sales. We need sales evidence. So if you've got some information you'd like to present to us, this is the time to do it.
See, because I have submit a sales Word document, but they told me that they don't accept that. They need something that in PDF format, but I couldn't find anything on the realtor website. So there's no way that I can present that to you. The only way that I can find the comparable price is from the City of Winnipeg assessment website. And the one that I found, maybe two at least, is the same house on the same track, like same area, same street. But the square footage is higher than mine, but you know, the assessment is a little bit lower than mine. I don't know if the assessor can give me the explanation for that.
Well, I can't speak on on comparable assessments. I can only look at sales, and the sales are online on our website on the Winnipeg assessment sales. It has sales information that shows all of them. Your neighborhood is an older neighborhood, so there are going to be sales that or properties that are significantly older than yours. You're a 2004 built. So when I was looking for sales and when I was looking for properties that are similar to yours, I was looking for ones that were as close in age as yours as I could find. So the sales I've provided are all sales that, I mean, comparable 1 is closest in age, and then comparables 2 and 3 are still older, but within 20 years. And so I was looking for sales that were as close in age to yours as I could find. Yours also has a large attached garage, and most comparables in your neighborhood don't have a garage or have small detached garages. So your property is newer, has a larger lot, and has an attached garage, where a lot of properties probably do not have that. So the sales I found were ones that were as close in age to yours as I could find, and as close in.
Which one is that? Is it the 48 Hindley?
All of the sales are as close in age as I could find. The neighborhood is quite old, so there's many sales and many properties that are significantly 50, 60 years older than yours.
Yes.
I would not look at sales of those properties to compare to yours.
The one that closer to mine is the one that the comparable report that you gave me is COM 1, 48 Hindley.
Mm-hmm.
It's built in 2000 and it's 864 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the sale value is only 345.
Yeah, the time adjusted is 373. It doesn't have a large attached garage. It doesn't have it's a significantly smaller lot. So it's smaller in square footage. Those things come into play with value as well.
So the garage is how you say it? The garage is the most, not the most important thing, but it's one of the reasons that the value is going up.
Garage adds value along with larger square footage, along with larger lot size. All of those factor into value. Yes.
Okay.
May I just ask Ms. Kilborn?
Yep.
What would the value of a fireplace be?
A fireplace, a few thousand, maybe 3 to 4 thousand, maybe 3 to 5,000 at tops, maybe 4, I'll say. A few thousand.
Okay.
Give or take.
Ms. Redmond, do you have any questions of the applicant?
No, sorry, if I missed this, but what would you suggest a fair assessed value for your property would be?
Okay. Like I said, I look at a few assessment from the city of Winnipeg, and I found that it's in the same stretch of my house. The value is less than what you assess my value in my house. Like for example, the 279 Bellevue is only 371,000, and the 221 it's a 1 story. It's only 360,000. But mine is 426,000. So I would say maybe less than 400. That would be more reasonable for me. I can't hear you, sorry.
Ms. Redmond, you're on mute.
Sorry.
That's
Sorry.
okay. Were you finished with your questions?
Yes, I'm finished with my question.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Verhun, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Mine was just answered. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Is there a summary, Ms. Kilborn?
To summarize, I chose sales in the neighborhood that were as close in age and size as I could find. And based on these sales, I feel that the 426 should be maintained.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a summary, Mr. Pham?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time and your presentation today. And we will get back to you with our decision by letter as soon as possible.
Thank you all for the time and the interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes item number 5 on our docket today. Does anybody need a break for a few minutes?
I wouldn't mind one.
Sure.
Okay, let's take a 5-minute break, please, and then we'll resume.
Thank you.
Okay, and we are live once again.
Thank you. We'll move on to number 9 on the docket today, which is 82 Riel Avenue, and we have Jim Cordingley. Hello, Mr. Cordingley. Thank you for your patience.
No problem.
I will have our administrative assistant here swear you in before we get started on your property.
Okay.
Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
James Andrew Cordingley.
Thank you. And do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Kilborn, please proceed with your assessment.
Okay. So this is for 82 Riel Avenue, roll number 0800484610. The property is located in the Minnetonka neighborhood. It's a one-story single-family dwelling built in 1975. It's 1,325 square feet with a partially finished basement. It has 2 bathrooms, air conditioning, and an attached garage. The lot size is 11,283 square feet. There's a bus and traffic influence. The comparable properties are 88 Met Street, 6 Met Street, 98 Woodbury Drive, and 42 Tracy Crescent. They're all one-story single-family dwellings built between 1968 and 1975, with the square footages ranging from 1,120 to 1,412 square feet. They all have finished basements. 88 Mets and 42 Tracy have 3 bathrooms, and 6 Mets and 98 Woodbury have 2. They all have air conditioning except for 88 Mets does not. They all have garages except for 6 Mets does not have a garage. 6 Mets has a pool. In the listing it states non-functional and has not been used for 2 years, but we still have it on our records. The lot size ranges from 5,499 to 8,667 square feet. There's a corner influence for 88 Met Street, and the time adjusted price for these comparables range from $327,300 to $399,200. So I did speak with Jim. We had a conversation, and there is definitely work that needs to be done to this house. The foundation was an issue, but that has been repaired as of this year. There was significant work done. The permit states installing 13 underpinning piles, 1 angle brace, 3 wall straps, and a joist system for foundation walls. So since then, there is exterior work that needs to be done to the house. I know that the chimney needs work and the siding needs work based on our conversation. There was pictures provided. I saw the interior. It's extremely dated. And based on our conversation, there has been no work done to the interior of the house at this time. So based on all of this, I looked for comparables that were also very dated. So the comparables I found were these 4. And I did make a recommendation to lower because I do believe the value should be lower than our original assessment. And I made a recommendation to lower the value to 366, which we did not agree on that value.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Cordingley, do you have questions? Oh, could you please repeat the roll number?
It's 0800484610.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Cordingley, do you have questions of the assessor?
Yeah, sure. Amanda, in your valuation, the properties you're looking at wouldn't have significant damage to them, right? Is that correct?
They are all dated. None of any listings stated like foundation issues or anything like that. So I'm not aware of anything, but just that they're dated.
Right.
Extremely dated.
So we had an assessment done of the house, or an appraisal done of the house, and the appraiser at that point said that it was difficult to have a comparison of a property that has issues other than saying if it had no issues, this is what we think the value would be, and then you can find comparables. And the question is, I guess, is there a some sort of compensation for the fact that there's still significant damage to the house that needs to be repaired?
And that is why I made a recommendation. The foundation has since been repaired based on our conversations. So I do know you've mentioned that the siding and the chimney needs work, and also that it is still dated. So that is where my value of 366, which is at the lower end of these comparables, comes from. And that has taken into consideration any work that would need to be done to the property at this time.
That's all I have for now.
Thank you.
Ms. Burhan, do you have any questions of the assessor?
No, I don't, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Ms. Redmond, any questions?
Only one. I noted that the square footage of the lot size is quite significantly higher than other properties. Would that have a large impact on your decision for 366?
It has an impact. Yes, it is larger, so there is added value for larger lot size. So that would influence the value. Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. And I'm just wondering, the foundation has been repaired. When was that done and what was the cost of that?
The foundation was repaired in June, and it ended up being about 75,000.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions. I will then turn it over to you, Mr. Cordingley, for your presentation.
Sure, thank you. The property is been in our family since it was built. The house was built by my in-laws who have passed away, and we purchased the house from the estate. When we purchased the house in October of 24, we had an assessment done of the house, or an appraisal done of the house, and it was listed at that point as 350,000 value if it had no structural issues or other damage to it caused by the structural issues. So that was the value that they called as complete. So that if the property was in fact intact and just dated, then it would have a value of 350. And that takes into consideration the larger lot as well as the traffic and the bus route and things like that. So that was looking at all of those things. The work that was required for the basement, the foundation was far more significant than we anticipated when we purchased the house. We originally had estimates from a couple of foundation guys that looked at it without really engineering around 45,000. As it turned out, the damage actually was far more significant, and it needed quite a bit more work done to it. So in effect, we actually overpaid for the house when we purchased it. So the foundation work that had to be done was basically underpinning the front half of the house. And what that did was basically stabilize it. How the foundation had moved, it had sunken on the garage side of the house, and the fireplace is on the other side of the house. So what happened was effectively the house pulled away from the fireplace chimney and chase, as well as, sinking in that corner. So to do the repairs, they basically dug around the foundation, which meant they had to cut through the attached garage floor and open up that floor so that they had access to the foundation wall on that side. And the strapping and all of that was not originally expected. So that was additional work that had to be done, as well as moving some plumbing so they could put the strapping in. So it was quite involved. So now where we are is we have a house which has a stable foundation but there's still significant work that has to be done to resolve the issues that are left behind from that. So if you've had a chance to look through the pictures, you can see that I've submitted that there's stone on the front of the house, and it basically has all come loose. It's in some areas, it's the stones are virtually ready to fall off. It's all Tyndall stone. So all of that has to be repointed and in some cases perhaps remounted. The people I've been talking to seem to think that they can mostly do repointing, which basically means cleaning the grout out between the stones and replacing it. But there may be some other additional work once we get to that, actual doing that. There are some, because the house is shifted, there are some large gaps that will have to be just filled because there's no way to repair them otherwise. So the stone on the outside of the house has that issue. There's still a large gap between the chimney structure and the actual house. And the chimney goes from the basement right to the through the roof. So it's basically was designed to have a fireplace in the basement and a fireplace on the main level. There was never a fireplace put in the basement, but it is basically the same structure. So the structure has been stabilized. The chimney chase has been stabilized in the basement foundation area with the steel strapping, but the chase itself that extends above the foundation is still basically disconnected from the house. And the engineers have suggested it could be strapped to the house, but there's signs of, if you are looking maybe page 15 of the submission, where you can see that the lower end of the chimney chase is quite cracked. And when you get to page 16, 17, you can see the cinder block inside has shifted. So it's very likely that that structure is going to have to be dismantled to repair it and then rebuild it, or replace it with a wood structure and put in a gas fireplace as opposed to a stone or a wood burning fireplace. Either way. A little farther down, you can see that where the garage floor was cut out. So that's page 20. They had to cut out about a 4-foot section out of the garage floor to access the wall. So now the garage floor is, of course, unstable and needs to be removed and replaced. And then when we get down into the page 23, you can start seeing the fireplace on the inside, which is also the same Tyndall stone, has cracks throughout it. So that will all have to be repointed as well. And there's question as to whether the hearth can be repaired or not, because it's shifted by about a quarter of an inch. There was basically about a 1 inch, I guess, difference in when things settled. So it made quite a significant difference to it. And then when we get down to page 28, you can see the firebox were in the fireplace. So all of the bricks in there have disconnected. So those are all going to have to be rebuilt, basically, to make the fireplace safe. And we're not actually sure of what the fireplace looks above on the inside, like the actual chimney itself, whether it's cracked or not. We're not sure on that. But the bottom line is that the fireplace as it stands is not safe, and so it couldn't be used as a fireplace, certainly, and it needs to be removed, rebuilt, and repaired. And just a little bit farther down, you can see page 31. You can see the walls in the basement were opened up, so there was insulation drywall, structure. It had to be removed so that the strapping could be accessed and the cracks could be filled. So that all has been done, but now those walls all need to be rebuilt. And the strapping adds a little bit of challenge to build around it to make the structure look like it belongs. You can see just down there that the basement is really not finished, with the exception, there's one room that was, I guess, a bedroom, but it has no egress, so it's not really a bedroom, but it has a ceiling and carpet on the floor, but the rest of the basement is no ceiling, no flooring, and just basically open space. The living room, I think I must have passed that. The living room, there's a crack in the wall when the fireplace side of the house stayed and the garage side went down. It basically opened the wall up, the actual the wall in the living room, so that it's separated at the corner, and the drywall wall on one side went up and the opened up at the ceiling. So there's actually a gap there as well.
I see that you have got estimates for all of the remaining repairs. Like,
Yeah,
we
so-
had an opportunity to take a look at these pictures in terms of your presentation. I'm wondering, unless there's anything that you feel is really significant that you haven't touched on right now, if we could perhaps run to what the costs would be to replace some of these things and repair this for you.
Sure. The only thing that I've got a firm quote on is actually replacing the garage floor. So that's the only one that I've got a quote on. The Tyndallstone repointing, I've sent the guy pictures that will likely be the guy that we need to do it, and he's estimated around $1,500. Once he's on site and has a closer look, he may it was basically based on what he saw in the pictures. If it's worse than what he saw in the pictures, when he's actually there, then it may go up from there. And there was, again, the question of the hearth, being able to do something with that. He wasn't sure about that. And then, so in the basement, basically, everything needs to be rebuilt. So the walls, the studs need to be put up, insulation needs to be replaced, vapor barrier, drywall, and then painting to get that back to where it was. There were significant cracks in the basement floor, due to all the shifting. And we did test the radon, and the radon levels were above acceptable levels. And again, a over the phone estimate from radon guys was 2,500, but they need to come on site to confirm that. And the living room wall, basically, this is us looking at what has to be done. Two walls will have to be repainted after the drywall is repaired. There's a gap at the ceiling, about an inch at the ceiling, that will have to be filled. And the ceiling has stipple, so there's a question as to if the stipple will have to be repaired as well. So that's basically repairing the basics. And then the biggest outlay that we see yet, and we did talk to a general contractor to get a ballpark on some of this, and dismantling the fireplace, removing what's there and rebuilding it was estimated around 30,000. But again, that wasn't a firm quote. That was a conversation value. But that's my experience now after doing the foundation work, is that the prices generally are higher than what they but yeah, so we suspect that we're going to be at 45,000. There are other issues that we aren't clear about, but we expect that things like the eaves troughs probably aren't going to flow quite the same as they should, because of the shifting of the house, and we have to evaluate those things. But we honestly haven't got to that point yet. But we feel that there's probably a few odds and ends left, but it's not unrealistic that we would spend another 45,000.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm sorry that this is happening to you. That's a lot of outlay for sure.
It is.
And then I see that you've got some information here which you might want to present from the Assiniboine Credit Union about the market.
That's the appraisal, I
Yes,
guess. Yeah, so the appraisal, was at the time, it was September of 2024. The house was appraised without damage, again, as complete at 350,000. Then basically they said what the work that needs to be done to do those repairs to get it to that point would be removed from the appraised value. So at that point, the appraisal, just let me find here what they had appraised it at 304,000 in the condition it was in, based on what we had said was the damage, but it would have been significantly less than that because it would have been more than that. We didn't have, when they did this appraisal, we didn't actually have any real values on that. It was just ballpark estimates, and which were clearly wrong. So, and I guess the other thing I should mention that I believe that the revised valuation that Amanda has presented at 366 is reasonable for the property at that date if it had no damage to it. So if it didn't need the work it needed, then 366 is probably in line with the 350 that was appraised back in the previous September. What I'm looking for is a value of about 315 to compensate for the fact that it needs that additional work.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Ms. Kilborn, do you have any questions for the applicant?
So you're saying that the appraisal said 304 at the time with the damage, but since then you've done the foundation, so that would be increasing the value. I understand that there's other issues, but the foundation repair would be a significant repair that has been done since then.
The 304 was based on the fact that we thought the foundation repair was going to be 44,000.
Okay.
So
okay. And it still has
value.
been completed. That part of the like the foundation is repaired now. So you would think that would increase the value a little bit more than, I mean, I know that it was more than what you thought it would be.
The 304,000 was not valid because the amount of
Well,
work
you knew
that was
you were like the foundation issues were an issue, like that was, they were aware of that, correct? Like the foundation issues.
They were aware of it, but the way they valued that was based on the estimate that somebody had given us,
Okay.
which was incorrect.
Okay.
Right? If we'd had an actual quote, which we didn't really have time to do at that point, if we'd had the engineering done and all of that, we would have seen that we were looking at a much more costly, and it basically would have been at least 75,000 less than the 350.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I don't really have any other questions at this time.
Okay,
Sorry, and you're doing the work? Sorry, I do have just one more. So you say you have a couple, like there are some estimates, but most of it is just your estimation. Are you doing the work yourself, or are you hiring people to do?
No, we're hiring contractors.
Okay, so
we're just
Okay.
having trouble finding people that are wanting to do the work.
I see. Okay, thank you. I don't have any other questions.
thank you. Ms. Redmond, any questions?
Just one. I see that you've shown some comparable sales that you've found, looking like they're in the neighborhood. Would you consider these houses that you've presented in your evidence as being in similar condition to your house?
These are the comparables here are what the appraiser at the time felt were comparable, and he was, I mean, just generally in the neighborhood, most of the houses were built around the same time, unless they've had upgrades to them. You know, they might be in similar condition. I know this particular house, I think the day that they finished building it was the last time there was any work done on it. So it's, you know, it's really a time stamp, I guess. It's an original, so. But
Okay,
I believe the other houses would be similar.
okay, thank you very much.
Ms. Verlin, any questions?
Mine was just answered. Thank you, Madam Chair.
And mine has been answered as well. So I think that concludes the property at 82 Riel Avenue. I thank you for your presentation, and we'll get back to you with a letter as soon as we possibly can.
All right. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
time.
Thanks.
We'll now move on to item 10 on our agenda, which is 50 River Haven Grove. Do we have an applicant?
We do not have an applicant online nor in person.
Okay, thank you. So I will turn it over to you, Ms. Kilborn, to make your presentation.
Okay, so this is for 50 River Haven Grove, roll number 0802097500. The subject property is located in the Minnetonka neighborhood. It's a 2-story single-family dwelling built in 2004. It's 2,275 square feet with a finished basement. It has 4 bathrooms, air conditioning, and attached garage. The lot size is 7,466 square feet, and there is a park and river influence. The comparable properties are 59 Ravine Drive, 42 River Point Drive, 142 River Point Drive, and 38 McNulty Crescent. They're all 2-story single-family dwellings built between 1985 and 2002. The square footages range from 2,290 to 2,544 square feet. They all have finished basements, except for 142 River Point Drive does not have a finished basement. 59 Ravine and 42 River Point have 4 bathrooms, and 142 River Point Drive and 38 McNulty have 3 bathrooms. They all have air conditioning and attached garages. 42 River Point has a pool with the heater not working at the time of purchase. And then the lot sizes range from 6,257 to 12,090 square feet. And there's a river influence for 38 McNulty. The time adjusted sale price for these comparable properties range from $789,600 to $1,031,700. And based on these comparable properties, I believe the value of $875,000 should be maintained.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Verhun, do you have any questions for the assessor?
Sorry, I do not, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Ms. Redmond, do you have any questions?
I did look this up on just Google to see what the property looked like. And I noted that there's a public pathway along the side of the property. Is that an influence as well?
On the side of it or behind it? Let me just.
I believe I think it's both.
Yeah, so that would be like the pathway to the park that the river influence, or that the influence is, the park. I'm just looking it up. So that's what the park influence considers.
Okay.
Is considering. I don't have a walkway influence. If there was a walkway influence on this, it wouldn't change the value of the property. The park and the river influence are what would drive the value.
It doesn't back onto Saint Amant property?
It backs onto the, there's like a foresty area. Saint Amant is over to the right of it.
Okay.
But it's not behind Saint Amant. Like if you're looking at the property from the back, like from the river, the Saint Amant is to the right of it.
Okay.
So it backs onto like a bunch of treed area and then the river behind it. So it's would be a private, like looking, it's not backing onto a commercial building.
Okay, thanks. That's all I have.
Yep, thanks.
And I have no further questions for you on item 10 on the docket. So we'll move along to item 11 on the docket, which is 99 River Point Drive. I'll let the applicant in.
Mr. Applicant?
It's Mr. Schellenberg. There he is.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Schellenberg. I will get our assistant to swear you in, please.
Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
John James Schellenberg.
Perfect, thank you. And do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Kilgore, if I can get you to present your information, please.
Okay, so this one is for 99 River Point Drive. The roll number is 080081494400. The property is located in the Minnetonka neighborhood. It is a two-story single-family dwelling built in 1994. It's 2,800 square feet with a finished basement. It has 3 bathrooms, air conditioning, and an attached garage. The lot size is 8,970 square feet. The comparable properties are 50 Ravine Drive, 59 Ravine Drive, 18 Ravine Drive, and 42 River Point Drive. They are all two-story single-family dwellings built between 1989 and 2002. The square footages range from 2,400 to 2,740 square feet. They all have finished basements, 4 baths, air conditioning, and attached garages. 42 River Point has a pool, but it was not functioning at the time of purchase. The pool heater is not working as well. The lot sizes range from 6,257 to 8,570 square feet. And the time adjusted sale price for these comparable properties range from $743,100 to $962,100. And based on these comparables, I believe the value of $821 should be maintained.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Schellenberg, do you have questions of the assessor?
Yes, I'd like to correct at least one thing, maybe 2. But I think you mentioned 3 baths, right? Because in the written information that you sent over, there was 2 baths listed.
For which, your property?
Yeah.
I have 2 full baths and a half bath.
Yeah. So it should be 3 and 3.5.
Okay, so 1 extra bathroom?
Yeah. Yeah. We completed a bathroom downstairs. We've had the house since '98. So.
Okay, sorry. So instead of having 2 full baths, you have 3 full baths now?
Correct.
And then 1 half bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for number of showers, you have 1. What is a number of showers?
So a full bathroom would be a full bathroom with a shower bathtub combination, and then a half bathroom with a shower. So if it's just a stand-up shower, is one of yours just a stand-up shower, or is it?
Yes.
Or there's also the option of having the bathtub separate and then a stand-up shower separate?
Yeah. So I think we'd have 2 stand-up showers and 1 bathtub, I think, is plus a shower.
Okay. So yeah, so 1 full with the bathtub and the shower separate, and then 1 full with the bathtub shower combination, and then 1 with just a stand-up shower.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I can make a change to that. Okay, perfect. Thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah. And then the other item, and you've already mentioned square foot in another person's application. So when we bought the house, and even on the real estate items, it's listed as 2,600, and you have 2,800 on the roll.
I did see that when I read your information. I do see that you stated 2,600. So I can order. I do see that this was I did see that this was questioned a few years ago, and then an assessor did take a look at it and confirm the 2,800 square feet back in 2017.
Okay.
So it was confirmed, but I will order. I can
Yes, please.
reorder and relook, because at this moment I have 28, but I will reorder plans to do a reconfirmation if you would like me to.
Yes,
I can do that. Okay. Yeah, I will do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
No other questions.
Thank you. Ms. Verpun, do you have any questions?
None at this time, thank you.
Ms. Redmond, any questions?
No, none at this time. I was just gonna try and figure out what the adjusted square footage or square foot assessment price would be if the square footage was 2,600.
I have a question and I'm wondering what kind of an implication this change in the bathrooms might have.
So minor, because I'm just trying to look at what I have. I have 2 full and 1 half, and then I have the bathroom. So it would just be 1 full bath that I would add. I couldn't say an exact value, maybe, I don't know, anywhere 10,000, 12,000, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15,000.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions. So we'll turn it over to you, Mr. Schellenberg, for your presentation.
Yes, I've sent in my written comparables, and
Yes.
I wasn't aware of your comparables ahead of mine. So I did River Point and found sales on there. Our numbers are approximately the same, I would say. And I noticed that you have also, like the difference with mine is that I was taking the number of bedrooms into account. So I go from, like many of the houses for comparables have 4 bedrooms or 5. I've got 3. And that's a major reason for me to decrease my price per square foot. I noticed that you also decreased from something over 300 to something below. I think 293 is the number that you came out at in my assessment. So both of us are decreasing the price for my house. One, it's interesting to consider how much to decrease it for the change in bedrooms. So that's one question. And the other dispute is what we've already talked about, which is it 2,600 or 2,800 or some other number for square footage. But overall, it's taking the square footage question. It's pretty close, I think.
So sorry, when you said 293, what did you mean? Like the 293 per square foot?
You assessed our house at 293 per square foot.
Yeah.
Right, which is below the average of your comparables. I think your comparables are 305 or 303.
The price per square foot for the comparables range from 286 to 336.60 per square foot.
Yeah, I think I calculated an average at about 303 or 305. I forget what the number is. So both of us are decreasing. You decreased it for my house for some reason.
It's not,
right?
It's not decreased. Like your value of 821,000, that's the value that we have at 293.21 square foot.
Correct.
That is the price that is the value. There has not been a decrease. Like you're appealing the value of 821,000, correct?
Yeah.
And I still have it at 821,000.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was meaning that if you look at your comparables and take the average square foot, dollar per square foot value, I think it's 305 on average.
Okay.
And you've evaluated our house at 293 for the purpose of calculation.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
What I did with my comparables, I did the same thing, and I said that whatever the average was from my comparables, I only have 3 bedrooms, whereas they have 4, and so I decreased it by a larger amount than you did. But both of us are decreasing, right? So the real issue is what is the square foot of the house, I think, for the calculation.
Yeah, so that is something I can't speak to at this moment. I can just speak to the sales and to the value. I mean, the comparables that I have used all of them are 3 bedrooms except for comparable 2. We go by square footage, we don't go by bedroom count.
Yeah, I noticed.
So bedroom count is, I mean, whether it's 3 or 4, it's more about the square footage, but the 3 comparables 1, 3, and 4 are all 3 bedrooms, same as yours. Comparable 2 is the only one that is 4 bedrooms. So I use comparables that are very similar in bedroom count is what you're talking about, but so it and size to your proper, as close to size as I could get for your property. So that's why I use these sales, and they're all in the same neighborhood as your property.
Yeah, good. So yeah, I think the real issue is square footage, and we'll leave that for another day. If you can order an assessment, that's great.
Yes, I will do that. I'll order the plans to look at them and see.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Ms. Redmond, any questions for the applicant?
No, not at this time.
Ms. Verhan, any questions of the applicant?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
I just have one question, and I heard that the square footage had been reviewed once before, but I'm wondering why you think the square footage is 2,600 as opposed to 2,800.
Yeah, so I don't remember how it was done in 2017, even though I'm the owner of the house, I forget. But I would like, when I calculate it myself, it's not 2,800, it's 26. I think I did it yesterday, 2625 is what I thought I did. So if somebody can come out and do it again, that's great. The
And
real
how did
estate.
you do it, sir? How did you do it? Off of plans, or did you physically measure?
No, I physically measured with a tape measure. And the real estate information we had when we bought said 2,600, and I've got brochures. And of course, we bought in 98, so that's, you know, we have a brochure from 96 that's listed at 2,600. So anyway, it'd be nice if we checked again.
Okay, great, thank you for that. Do you have a summary at all, Ms. Kilborn?
Sorry. Just to summarize that the comparables I used are all in his neighborhood, relatively close in, well, his is the largest, but relatively close in size and lot size, and that the value supports the maintaining of 821,000.
Okay, Mr. Schellenberg, do you have a summary you would like to make?
Yeah, I'll agree with the square footage price. And the only issue is what is the square footage of the house? I think that's my summary.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for your time and your presentation. And we will get back to you as soon as possible with a decision about that. Thank you.
Thank you.
That includes docket number 11 today at 99 River Point Drive. And I think we are now on to item number 12 on our docket, which is 10 Triton Bay. And I understand we don't have anyone in attendance for that by Zoom or?
Yeah, no one in Zoom or Miners.
Okay, thank you. So I will hand it over to you, Ms. Kilborn, to make your presentation, please.
Okay, so this is for 10 Triton Bay, roll number 080035999500. The property is located in Pillsbury neighborhood. It's a one-story single-family dwelling with an effective age of 1975. It is 1,043 square feet with a finished basement. It has 2 bathrooms, air conditioning, and the lot size is 6,894 square feet. There is a park influence. The comparable properties are 139 Parkville Drive, 124 Moore Avenue, 125 Moore Avenue, and 237 Parkville Bay. They're all one-story single-family dwellings with effective ages between 1972 and 1982. The square footages range from 1,040 to 1,196 square feet, and they all have finished basements, 2 bathrooms, except for 237 Parkville has 3 bathrooms. They all have air conditioning, and 125 Moore and 237 Parkville have garages. The other 2 do not. The lot sizes range from 4,454 to 5,958 square feet. There is a corner and 4-way stop influence for 124 Moore. And the time adjusted sale price for these comparable properties ranges from 426,400 to 513,100. I did speak with the owner and I reviewed the 2020 sale and discussed with them, and I did make a recommendation to lower the value to 428, and they agreed to this when I spoke to them regarding this recommendation.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Ms. Verhan, any questions?
I do not, thank you.
Ms. Redmond, any questions?
None, thanks.
I'm just wondering, why it was reduced? You say based on the market value?
So I looked at this, I spoke with them, they had a couple issues with the home itself, and they have done no work to the house since purchasing it back in 2020. So I looked at their sale, I would say the subject would be a little bit less updated than most of the sales. It also doesn't have a garage where a couple of them do. So based on those couple of reasons, I made a recommendation to bring them down
Okay,
to the
Great.
lower end, yeah.
so I think that completes item 12 on our docket today. And I think that completes our complete docket for today. So we'll go
Perfect.
in camera and make our decisions. And I thank you for your patience today. I know I'm kind of all over the place because it's my first chairing since
Well, welcome back. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
we'll go in camera to make our decisions then. Thank you.